I'm sorry guys, I'm on top of the Mount of Olives here. Of course, behind me is the beautiful city of Jerusalem. And you can see the Temple Mount. And I think it's important that we share a little information with you. So I'm going to point these out. First of all, everybody, the iconic Dome of the Rock that everybody can see is right out there. And that is where Muslim women go to worship, okay? Now, as I'm talking to you today, of course, we're in Ramadan. I think we're in the 19th day of the 30 days of Ramadan. But that is where the women worship at the Dome of the Rock. But over here, I'll move out of the way just a little bit there, and you can see the Al-Aqsa Mosque. This is where the men worship, okay, right over here. Now, that area is also known as Solomon's Stables, although we never had any horses up here as far as we know of. That's just the nickname they gave it. But that is the Dome of the, that right there is the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and that is where the men pray, the Muslim men, that is where they pray. The entire complex is 35 acres. The entire area up on top of the Temple Mount is 35 acres. And so, of course, that is what takes place there at those two locations, the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock. Now, here's something you might want to know. Where will they build the third temple? Well, there's a lot of discussion about that, but primarily it will go adjacent to this Dome of the Rock. So let me just show you. Can we show them the Eastern Gate, also known as the Beautiful Gate, okay? It's also known as the Eastern Gate or the Beautiful Gate. Some call it the Beautiful Gate, some call it the Golden Gate. It's really known as the Eastern Gate. If you look adjacent, if you go where the Dome of the Rock is, just adjacent to there, there's plenty of room. There's tons of room to build the third temple and to build a museum of the history of the Temple Mount and the history of Jerusalem. And that is actually the plans. The blueprints for the building of the third temple is actually been presented 7 years ago by Benjamin Netanyahu. He made that public. Now, I've met with Yehuda Glick, and he's talked about how it will be built adjacent to the Dome of the Rock. The Dome of the Rock will not be touched, neither will the Al-Aqsa Mosque. They will remain intact and do as they do. The third temple would be built up on this Temple Mount area, and a museum will be built, but there will be no outer court to this new third temple. No outer court. That gives plenty of room for the tourists that are going to come up on the top of the Temple Mount. So basically, you'll have Christians up there walking around, going into the museum, taking pictures of everything going on. You have the Muslims who will be praying in the two different mosques that they have, and you'll have the Jewish worshipers and others coming into the third temple to worship, and that actually fulfills biblical prophecy. That's exactly what the Bible says is going to happen. And actually, when you read the book of Revelation, you'll understand that that diagram, that blueprint, is in Revelation 11. It matches the blueprint that they've already approved to build. And at the Temple Institute, they've already got the golden altar. They've already got the golden menorah. They've already got the golden shewbread table. They've already got everything. 7 silver trumpets, the priestly garments, the priestly robes, the breastplate with the 12 stones. All of it is there. Everything's prepared. So if you want to know where we're at in biblical prophecy, keep an eye on Jerusalem. Keep an eye on Israel. It is God's prophetic timepiece for the end times. I'm reporting from here, the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem. Are you serious?